A true horror story from 1795, The Deadly Game of Five Friends. In 1795, a deadly game took place with 5 people. One day, Jonathan, Thomas, Eleanor, Margaret, and Lydia went for a walk in the forest. Then they saw a mansion and decided to stay there. At 2 a.m., Margaret suddenly woke up. She heard strange noises. Margaret came out of her room. She stopped near a door. The sound was coming from there. Just as she was about to open the door, a hand touched her shoulder from behind. She got scared. As she turned around, her friend Eleanor was standing there. Eleanor said, "It's all just in your mind." Suddenly, the door opened, and something pulled both of them inside. Both Margaret and Eleanor were missing. Jonathan, Thomas, and Lydia were looking for them. They went into the forest again. Suddenly, Thomas saw something that chilled his soul. Margaret was half buried in the ground. Thomas ran away in fear and brought Jonathan with him. Lydia came too. All 3 were terrified by the sight. They ran back toward the mansion. As soon as they entered the mansion, all doors shut by themselves. Jonathan looked up. On the chandelier in the hall, Eleanor's bloody body was hanging. They were all horrified. They rushed into a room to hide, and there they saw Margaret was hanging upside down on the wall of that room. They stepped out and hid in another room. There Lydia found a book. As she opened it, she found 2 photos. In one, 5 boys were assaulting a girl. In another, they were burying her after killing her. That same book had dead photos of those boys, and another photo of the same girl. A father from a church came near the mansion. The door was locked, but the father knew someone was inside. He opened the door and entered. The sound of the door opening brought everyone out of the room. They were happy to see the father, but only 2 people came out, Thomas and Lydia. Then came a voice from the room. It was Jonathan. When they went inside, Jonathan was lying dead, his skin completely peeled off. Eleanor and Margaret were both lying on the ground. The father looked at Thomas and asked, "What did you people do?" Out of fear, Thomas confessed everything. 2 years ago, we 5 boys had come here, and we assaulted a girl named Beatrice. Then we killed her and buried her outside. He added, "I, Jonathan, and the other 3 boys, who were supposed to come here tomorrow." Suddenly, Margaret rose into the air, and she dragged Thomas into the jungle. The rest were locked inside the mansion. The father tried to open the door, but couldn't. Thomas returned, covered in blood, and with him were the 3 other boys who had killed Beatrice. The father tried to banish Beatrice, but she was too powerful. Then Beatrice gave all 4 boys a painful death in the middle of the mansion hall, and took her revenge. Finally, the father took the 3 girls with him and left.